Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Zimbabwe, where the National Army now moonlights as a flash mob in residential neighborhoods, turning Glenview into a drill zone and Zimwaves into a war rehearsal stage. Before we dive headfirst into today's commentary, where facts get roasted and truth wears a bulletproof vest, here is a quick musical public service announcement from your friends at NetBrowse Media. You may have noticed that the soul-stirring, bone-rattling, government-terrifying music you have grown to love on Zimwaves TV now ends a little too quickly. And no, it's not because the censorship board showed up with scissors. It's because Zim Anonymous Music now has its very own channel. Yes, the same revolutionary soundtracks we use to open and close our videos have gone independent. We are only serving teaser shots now on Zimwaves TV, but if you want the full spicy protest meal, head over to the Zim Anonymous YouTube channel and feast to your heart's content. The link, as always, is tucked nicely in this video's description. Just scroll down like a ZANU-PF official looking for a looting opportunity and you will find it. Alright, now that the soundtrack has found its voice, let's get back to today's program where we make noise that even the CIO can't unhear. According to an official communique from the Zimbabwe National Army, without a date but just dated June 2025, soldiers will be conducting a field training exercise from the 3rd to the 6th of June across various Harare suburbs. The memo claims it's a routine training, but you don't need a law degree to smell the rotting contradictions wafting off this routine, because nothing says we are here to protect you like camouflage-clad men parading through Glenora with assault rifles while school children try to dodge potholes and combis. Let's be brutally clear, this is not routine. It is militarized theater in high-density urban civilian areas. The suburbs in question, Glenview, Glenora, Kwadzana, Zimwaves, Mount Hampton and Westgate, are teeming with life, commerce and thousands of ordinary citizens just trying to survive. These are not deserted zones. They are residential, full of schools, clinics, markets and families. And yet, the army thinks it's appropriate to hold life simulations there. Something is not right. Did they run out of trees at Inkomo Barracks? Or did they just want to remind the opposition voting public who is the boss? Now, let's put this under the constitutional microscope. Under Section 213 of the Zimbabwean Constitution, the army may be deployed 1. In defense of Zimbabwe, 2. To assist the police in maintaining public order, 3. Or during a state of emergency or disaster. Nowhere does it say soldiers should be doing drills near tuck shops and crashes. In fact, under Section 208, the military must respect fundamental rights and freedoms. If training with guns in Glenora is respectful, then clearly our leaders have redefined the respect as intimidate until you comply. But wait, it gets even more dystopian. While the army occupies the suburbs in the name of trading, the police are now arresting citizens for cutting grass. Yes, grass, you heard that right, no mistake. Veteran journalist and Masvingo Mira publisher Matthew Takaona was arrested along with others by the notorious Ferret Team, a crack unit of police and intelligence agents, for the high crime of voluntarily clearing grass near Mushayavanu Primary School in Gutu. The scene? They didn't ask permission from the local ZANU-PF councillor Benson Dandira. We have now entered an era where trimming weeds without party clearance is seen as political insurrection. Takaona's arrest is not just an absurdity, it's a metaphor. In a normal country, cutting grass near a school is called community service. In Zimbabwe, it's treason light, especially if you are not chanting the ruling party slogans while doing it. It reveals the increasing weaponization of public authority to criminalize kindness, initiative, and civic duty. If it doesn't come with ZANU-PF rubber stamp, it must not be done. And while all this is happening on the ground, Zimbabweans online are pushing back through powerful art. One viral video now lighting up social media features a Zimbabwean woman reciting a soul-piercing Ndebele poem on injustice and forgiveness. Through metaphors, she paints the nation's truth. A hippo asked to forgive a crocodile for eating its cows. A goat expected to forgive a jackal whose stomach is bulging with its kids. How does one forgive when there has been no apology? When those responsible continue to swim in our pools, graze on our land, and bark at us on roads that we paved with our sweat. Her poem echoes what many feel but can't say in public. She speaks of goats now saying we must forgive jackals because some of them wear jackal skins and even cry like jackals. It's a poetic dismantling of co-opted resistance. Those who used to cry for justice, now silenced by comfort and complicity. And as she ends her poem by warning crying didn't help the goat during Christmas, we are reminded that passive suffering rarely serves the slaughtered. Listen to the poem.
Lithi sabambana ngiyalizwa lithi sibambene siyimbumba ababuzayo njengami lithi balenketha bechabe lithi siyasola khuluma ngodlo yami izinyane lemvubu ladliwa zingwenya kwathulwa kanjani angithi lingadliwa zingwenya kumele kucwebisa iziba yaxolisa yini ingwenya manje lithi imvubu ixole njani khulumani angithi lithi sezaxolelana ngiyalizwa lithi imbuzi lekhanka sokwakhulumisana umlotha kanjani ikhanka litukelene lisuthi apha amazinyane kaBantom khulumani lithi sezaxolelana lithi amanzi lamafutha sokwahlangana kanjani amafutha phezulu kwamanzi indaba amanzi ehleze ngaphansi kwamafutha khulumana ngithi lithi sokwahlangana bageze emthonjeni beqede bedunga amanzi ababo xamu bagcwele kwezethu iziziba ezaba inkomo zidla kowethu amadlelo lithi ezethu zidle ngabe izinja zakibo ziyasikhonkotha emgwaqweni awudlula ungaphoselanga inyama badla izinonzi bayiphosela amagaqa ngiyazizwa imbuzi zakithi zithi sixole angithi zona sezikwazi ukuphila namakhanka ezinye zembethe izikhumba zamakhanka ezinye sezikwazi ukukhala njengalo ikhanka kodwa etshanini siya sonke ngomlomo sonke silinda ukugwazwa bathi ukukhala kwembuzi akusizi kwehlula ngekhisimusi awu kondlo yami ungangifake enkingeni.
Which brings us to a beacon of hope, but from outside our borders. Absa Bank Botswana recently appointed Kudakwashe Mkushi, a Zimbabwean, as their new finance director and executive director. He didn't get the job because he is related to a general. He got it because he's qualified, experienced, and competent. Imagine that. Meritocracy, something so alien to Zimbabwe's ruling elite, It might as well be a foreign religion. Mukoshi's appointment is a mirror held up to our rotting system. In Botswana, talent is recognized. In Zimbabwe, it's suppressed unless it pledges loyalty to a party, a clan, or a crocodile. Our universities produce top-tier graduates, but our government and companies are allergic to intelligence unless it comes with a ZANU-PF membership card. That's how a nation turns its greatest minds into refugees and reserves cabinet seats for the dull, the docile, and the dangerous. The lesson? Zimbabwe must abandon this corrosive ZANU-PF model, this pyramid of nepotism, cronism, tribalism, and allegiance. We need a nation where anyone from any province with skill and imagination can rise without knowing the president's cousin. Until that happens, our brightest will keep finding homes in foreign boardrooms, while we, the rest, are left to eat crumbs from the top table and clap for uniforms that march through our streets under the guise of routine training. So let's summarize what's happening. The army is training in suburbs full of civilians, which is likely unconstitutional. The police are arresting people for mowing the lawn without ZANU-PF's written permission. Poets are crying for justice through metaphor, while the system prefers to answer with silence or force. And Zimbabwe's best talents are only recognized once they leave the country. Ladies and gentlemen, if this isn't a sign that the country is militarizing its way into a full-blown autocracy, what is? The military has no business turning high-density suburbs into mock war zones unless they want to protect the civilians when the coup happens. The police have no business criminalizing civic good, and the government has no business continuing a model that rewards sycophants while suffocating talent. So, to the citizens of Zimbabwe, this is not normal. Do not be desensitized. Do not be silent. Ask questions, demand answers, and keep watching Zimwaves TV, the only place where uniforms don't scare the truth into hiding. Subscribe now before they start training at this doorstep and call it public engagement.
Mnangagwa maski mwenyu anyanya kuba mari kana mafungaje kuba upfumi wedu chekuntanga uronga sikimu takabirwa mari paskimu embuzi pambuzi baiva kwa nembuzi dzinofura tikabirwa goride paskimu yemugodi kwete yegoride chete neyemvura zvese maskimu wenyu mawani na ishumba apa mabata apa manombora uchiwe kuba kubira Zimbabwe nai musiki takakutadzire takabirwa mari